to the Book of Wellbeing podcast, a place to help you to understand, manage and improve your mental health and wellbeing, where you will find the knowledge, guidance and tools you need to improve your life and where you can build your own wellbeing toolkit to take with you. Now feels like a good time to focus on social anxiety. Life's slowly but surely starting to get back to a kind of normality, and having social anxiety, even a mild form, might be particularly difficult at the moment. We've been used to being restricted to our homes and workplaces with few opportunities to interact in society, and we're having to get ourselves back out there. For some people, this is easy if you don't find social situations anxiety provoking, but for so many people, this can be difficult. So today we're going to look closer at this kind of anxiety and learn how to overcome it. Social anxiety is when we feel anxious and shy in social situations. We feel uncomfortable being around people who we don't spend our day-to-day lives with. We overthink how we come across to others, what they think of us, what we say, how we look, how we act. And it can cause a fear of embarrassment or a fear of being humiliated. And it can become so uncomfortable to experience that we then start to avoid going places. We allow the anxiety to control us. We become too afraid to step out of our comfort zone, that we imprison ourselves to the places we do feel comfortable in. We restrict our experiences and our ability to do new things. Everyone carries with them a degree of anxiety. It's part of our survival instinct, but sometimes it grows so much that it disables our life. And do you know why it grows? Because we feed it. We feed it with excessive negative thoughts, and we feed it by reinforcing a repeating behaviour like avoidance. So the more we avoid putting ourselves in social environments or situations, the more the anxiety about it grows, and the more it limits our life and our positive experiences. In order to grow and develop, we have to make changes, try out new things, and step outside of our comfort zone. We have to follow our interests, our goals, and our dreams if we want to make the most of our lives and to feel better. You don't have to judge yourself for feeling anxious in social situations. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's human nature. Be compassionate towards yourself. Lots of people feel this way. Would you judge them for it? No, you wouldn't. Why? Because if there's one positive thing you can take from experiencing anxiety, it's that you're very likely to be empathetic and understanding towards others who get anxiety. It makes you compassionate because you know and understand how it feels. If you were in a busy place and you looked around, I can almost guarantee that someone else there feels the same way that you do, if not more than one person. That's how common these feelings are. You might not visualize it in that person because anxiety isn't something we physically see often, but it's there. They're facing their fears just like you are. They're having the similar thoughts and feelings that you are. So how do we do it? I'm going to talk you through a quick step-by-step guide in overcoming anxiety when we're in social situations around other people. And then I'll introduce you to 2 techniques you can use to help you get through when you're in a social environment and you feel anxious or self-conscious. The previous episode focused on avoidance was the foundation for this episode, social anxiety. So if you haven't listened to that one already, I recommend that you do because that will give you some good groundwork for focusing on social anxiety. For the step-by-step guide, step 1. Identify the places, situations and activities that you avoid or put off because of the feelings it brings. Just know what they are and write them down. Spend some time thinking about what they might be. Do this over time if you have to and add to the list. If you followed the guidance from the previous episode, then you might have already done this. Step 2. Decide which one of these you're going to tackle first. Just pick one. Pick the one that feels less overwhelming. Step 3. action plan either in your head or write it down, your own step-by-step time plan. So for example, if you struggle to go places on your own, the first step could be to go for a walk for 10 minutes on your own, if this isn't something you're used to. The second, to go for 15 minutes. Third, to go shopping for 20 minutes. The fourth, to try going somewhere for 30 minutes. These are just examples, so you can go anywhere or do anything within this time, but the time exposure is key because it's gradual. It's small increases, and this will gradually improve your confidence and reduce the anxiety. Step 4, put this into action. If you have a setback, that's okay, just try again. Reduce the time if you need to. But don't give up. Just keep going gradually, small increases in time. And remember, anxiety isn't a weakness. Living with it, working to try and overcome it, is a strength. It's a huge strength. Don't let it control you. Take the control back. Face your fears. Get out there and live your life. Yes, it might still feel anxious. You might still get some of these feelings, but the more you face it, the smaller it gets. Instead of the anxiety growing, your confidence does instead. So for our toolkit in facing social anxiety, the first technique I'll introduce to you is called Think About Them. This is a really, really effective technique if you keep trying it. And the idea is that when you're out and in a social environment and you do feel anxious or uncomfortable, think about other people around you. Focus on them. You don't have to judge them, you're just thinking about them. What do you think of them? How do you make about the way they speak or how they look? Not in a judgmental way, we're just observing. When we feel anxious, we're so consumed by our own head, by ourselves, how we feel, how we might come across to other people. So flipping this round, doing the opposite and thinking about other people really helps to get out of your own head and away from those thoughts and feelings. It also helps you to communicate better with other people because you're thinking about them, which will grow your confidence in being able to speak freely and more comfortably. So think about them. Do this every time. Keep practicing it. You'll find that it really, really works when you do it. And step 2, the second technique, is 5-4-3-2-1 method. So mindfulness, or focusing on the here and now and our environment and what's around us, is really, really helpful for making us feel calmer, reducing our anxiety, and taking the focus off our thoughts. This method is readily available. You can look on YouTube or Google and find loads of videos and examples of how it can be used. But the concept is 5-4-3-2-1. So we think about 5 things we can see around us. Take your time, don't do it too quickly. Then 4 things that we can hear, 3 things we can smell or taste, 2 things we can touch, and 1 deep breath. You can do them in any order. It doesn't have to be the way I've said it, but follow the 5-4-3-2-1 concept. Keep practicing the step-by-step guide and the tools I've introduced to you today. If they don't work the first time, or they work a little bit but not as much as you want, keep trying them. They will eventually. Social anxiety is really, really difficult to manage and it makes us feel really uncomfortable. But the only way to overcome it truly is to face it. It's to tackle it head on and get out there and do the things that will improve your life and your confidence, and it will work. Good luck. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast if you're finding them helpful, and follow the Instagram and Facebook pages at The Book of Wellbeing. Have a good week.